Hello everyone, my name is Sadie and I will be guiding you through a 60-minute yoga practice today. So this practice is based around the season of autumn. We'll start on the mat and we'll begin by doing a breathing exercise. So for this practice, you may want a tissue just to blow your nose before we begin. And then you'll need a block just to help us raise the floor up for those more challenging poses. This class is an intermediate level class. So if you are more of a beginner and you're looking to challenge yourselves, this is a great opportunity to modify. So different times where you're doing something that is too challenging, step back and go back to the previous pose or the pose from the last flow. Now, we will make our way to our mat and begin with this breathing exercise. So I've got my tissue right here, just in case. So we'll find a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged, that's my recommendation, but if you want to sit on something, you can have a cushion or a block underneath you. So starting off, we're gonna lift our arms to these cactus arms. And during this breathing exercise, we're gonna reach our arms up to the sky like we're reaching to grab something. Clench our fists and pull the elbows back down to those cactus arms. So reaching up, we reach those hands nice and wide. Then we pull down, fists clenching. And each time we reach up, we'll take an inhale and then blow it out really hard on an exhale, out the nose. So it's kind of like this hitting of the elbows into the cactus pose stops your breath. So it's an inhale, inhale, exhale, and all out the nose. So if you're in a place where there's a lot of people right now, you might feel a little silly, but this is a really energizing little breathing practice that will start off our days in the best way. So let's give it a try. We're gonna do 10 rounds or 10 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10. Then we'll drop our hands to our knees, palms flipped. We'll close our eyes and just sit for a moment. We'll repeat that twice more. So 3 times all together, 10 reaches. So let's try it together. Feel free to close your eyes. I will be. So we'll bring our arms up, elbows out to the side, palms wide. Ready? We'll take a reach up, inhale, exhale, 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 inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Relax. Hands come to the knees, palms flipped up. Take a moment. We'll start our second round. Here we go. Elbows lift up, cactus arms, palms wide. We'll take an inhale, reaching up. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, in, exhale, in, exhale, in, exhale, in, exhale, in, exhale. Hands relax. Take a deep breath. And last round, here we go. Arms lift up, cactus arms. Let's take one cleansing breath before we start. Breathing in and out. And we'll begin reaching up. Inhale, in, in, X, 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 in, X. Release the hands. Take this moment to notice how you feel. This is a breathing exercise that will give you the same jolt that a cup of coffee will, just a little burst of energy. So it's the perfect way to start off a day or start off a yoga practice. If your eyes are closed, gently start to open them. And we will shift slowly to our mat, come to hands and knees. Now, if you would like, you can have a block or a cushion near you just to help out with those more challenging poses. This practice will have a lot of standing poses, stretching out the body, strengthening those legs. So let's start on all fours, hands underneath the shoulders, knees below the hips. And we'll start by dropping the belly, gaze looking forward, cow pose. And lift the heart between the shoulders, cat. Drop the belly, cow pose. And lift, cat. So continue with this motion on your own. Today's practice will have a lot of twists and a lot of standing poses, including tree. Yesterday, while I was standing outside, I was just admiring how all the leaves were falling and how the ground was covered. And as I walked, the leaves would crunch underneath my feet. And it was so soothing, so I wanted to dedicate this practice to the season of autumn. And I threw the twists in just because a lot of us are a little bit stressed out with what's going on in the world right now. And it couldn't hurt to detox a little bit. Taking one more set. And then let the chest drop and send it over to the right, lifting it up, and to the left. So making circles with the torso. Having your breath come along for the ride. Inhaling to lift and exhaling to fall. And we'll switch directions, going to the left. Really waking up the neck and the spine. Finding center. We'll tuck our toes and just lift the knees to a hover. Pulling the core in tight, squeezing knees to wrists. We're here for 8, 7, nice long neck, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, One will stretch those knees, coming into a plank pose. Sending both heels over to the right side of the room, we'll take our side plank. Pressing that right hand down, knuckles and fingers pressing down as well. Inhaling and exhale back to center. The heels will drop over to the left. Right arm reaches high, side plank. Back to center. And we'll lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Taking this first down dog to walk the heels out. Keeping the knees soft. Really taking any early movements to warm up those hamstrings and the back of the body. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths. Feel free to let one leg rise, maybe open up a hip. And if you did it on one side, switch those legs. We're really just trying to open up a little bit in the legs and the hips before we begin. Nice, one final breath here. Bending those knees. We'll shift our gaze in between the hands and step our hop your way all the way up to the front of the mat, forward fold. Uttanasana. So all 4 corners of both feet planted. And from here we can bend the knees, rock side to side, grabbing opposite elbow. Lower the hands, bend those knees a lot as we press the feet down and rise to stand, keeping the chin tucked till the last moment. And find our standing mountain pose. To reach our arms all the way up. Grabbing the left wrist, we'll stretch over to the right side. And back to center. And switch, grabbing that right wrist. We'll stretch over to the left. Back to center. We'll open the arms. Take a deep breath, releasing everything. All right, let's take a big inhale in, bending the knees, gathering the space around us. And exhale, open those arms, fold over. Inhale, lifting up halfway, hands press on shins, thighs, or hands on the floor. We release. Step the right foot back, high lunge. Squeezing those legs to the midline. Reaching the fingertips high. We exhale, hands plant. And step the left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. We'll roll forward, plank pose. We'll rock forward, elbows pulling into the sides, lowering down to the belly. Untuck the toes and lift up, cobra. Keeping the elbows bent, Heart opens to the front wall, and we lower down. Tucking the toes, we'll lift up and press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. And exhale, step it through. High lunge, squeezing the legs to the center, arms reach up. Big exhale as we lower the hands down and step the back foot to meet the front. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. We'll root the feet down as we press against the mat to lift all the way up to stand. Hands joined together and down to the heart. Inhale, bend of the knees, reaching the arms out wide. And we'll fold over. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, plant the hands. Left foot steps back. High lunge. Squeezing the legs to the midline. And exhale, plant the hands. Step that right foot back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Inhale to roll forward. Elbows pulling in. We'll look forward to lower to the belly. Untuck the toes, lift up, cobra. And lower down on an exhale. Pressing up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. And exhale to step it through. High lunge. Inhale and exhale, drop those hands. And step the right foot to meet the left at the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhaling to lift up halfway. Exhale, hands drop. We'll root the feet down as we lift to our mountain pose. Arms reach up, join together, and down to the heart. Again, big inhale in, reaching, gathering the space. And exhale, open to dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands and step the right foot back, high lunge. Lower the hands and step that left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Rolling forward. You have the option to take a chaturanga into up dog or continue lowering to the belly and lifting up to a cobra. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. And exhale, step it through. High lunge. Dropping the hands, framing that right foot. We'll step the left to meet the right, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten that back. And exhale, plant the hands. We'll lift up to stand. Hands joined together above the head and down to the heart. We'll repeat. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold. Flat back. Plant the hands. Step the left foot back, high lunge. Drop the hands. Step back, downward facing dog. We roll forward and take our vinyasa of choice, lowering. Inhale to bend. And exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, inhaling. And exhale, step it between the hands, high lunge. Melt the hands down and step it forward, fold. Lifting halfway, lower the hands and lift up to stand. Hands joined together and down to the heart. We'll take one final round of this on each side. Now that we know what we're doing, we can let it flow a little bit more. So allowing this movement to be kind of like a wave. So we'll bend the knees, big inhale, reaching, gathering the space. Open, exhale, forward folds. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, plant the hands, right foot steps back. Reach up like a wave and melt it down. Step the left foot back to meet the right, downward dog. Roll forward to a plank pose and take your flow. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. And exhale, we step it through. Arms lift up like a wave and release down. We step the back foot to meet the front, halfway lift. Lower the hands and rise to stand. Hands joined together above the head and down to the heart. Inhale, reaching wide. Exhale, biggest fold of the day so far. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands, left foot steps back. Reach up. Let it melt. Step the foot back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward plank. Take your vinyasa flow. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, step it through. High lunge. Melt the hands down. And step the right foot to meet the left. Forward folds. Lifting halfway. Lower the hands. And rise to stand. Arms reach up. Joining above the head and down to the heart. So we definitely cultivated a little bit of heat there. Let's take a big breath here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's take one more, in through the nose and flutter the lips this time. Nice. Let's bring the feet together, heels slightly apart, and we'll sit into our chair pose. Hips dropping down, arms reaching up. Squeezing those legs together. Hands joined together, and we'll take them down to the heart. We'll take our prayer twist in chair pose. So twisting left elbow to right knee, pressing against one another, and we'll start to shift the gaze over the right shoulder. Breathing here. Very slowly and with control, we're going to shift our weight to our right foot and just slide the left foot back into a low lunge. So you can take it in shifts, moving just a couple inches at a time. And then when you get to that lunge, really allow yourself to press elbow to knee to encourage this twist even further. Nice. Take one more inhale here. We'll unwind, coming to our high lunge. Arms reach up. Making sure that we're breathing, not gripping in the jaw or the shoulders. We'll bend the elbows, open the chest. And then just allow it all to melt. Hands frame the right foot. And we'll step it back, plank pose. Lower chaturanga or to the belly, lifting up. And press it back, downward dog. We'll bend the knees, Looking forward between the hands and hop or step your way to the front of the mat, forward fold. Lifting up halfway, inhaling. Exhale, plant the hands. Bring the toes back together, heels slightly apart. We'll sit the hips down, taking our chair pose. And we'll press to stand, letting the arms release to the sides. Bending the knees, we'll sit again, chair pose. Utkatasana. Palms joining together and down to the heart. Using the thumbs, lifting the sternum. We'll take our twist over to the left this time. Right elbow connects with the left knee, or right above the left knee. And we'll turn our gaze over the left shoulder. So really starting to feel those legs turn on. Shifting the weight slightly to the left. We're slowly going to slide that right foot back. In shifts if we like. And then we'll find that twisted lunge. Breathing. We'll unwind and lift the arms up, high lunge. Bending the elbows, we'll take a slight back bend as the arms come into cactus arms. And we'll melt it all the way down. Hands frame the left foot, stepping it back to plank. Taking our vinyasa of choice here, we'll inhale, lowering down, lifting up, and press it back, downward facing dog. Bending the knees, looking between the hands. We'll step or hop our way back to forward fold. Lifting up halfway. And exhale, making sure those toes are together, heels are slightly apart. We'll sit the hips down, taking our chair pose. And then press the legs straight, arms released by the sides. Taking a moment, noticing how your body is starting to feel. Noticing any heat that has been built up. We'll slowly begin to bend the knees, sitting back into chair pose once more. Hands come together and down to the heart. Really making sure that that core is engaged. And we'll take our twist. Prayer twist over to the right side. And here is our challenge. We're going to shift our weight over to the right leg. And we're going to kick the left heel towards the left glute. So standing on one leg. The more that we press the left elbow into the right leg, the easier it will be to balance. We're here for 3, for 2, and on 1, we'll unwind. Keeping that left leg lifted, we'll press to stand, knee coming into the chest. From here, Whatever height that you would like, we're going to press that left foot forward. So it can be 90, it can be at 45, wherever feels most comfortable. And we're just going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull that foot back in. Let's take our tree pose, connecting the foot to the inner right thigh. Hands come together at the heart. And once we find a stable balance, maybe we let the arms lift all the way up. Tree pose. And yes, you will start to feel this in your right leg for sure. But as you stand in this tree pose, just visualize what the trees right outside of your room or your house look like. If the leaves have all fallen, or if there are still a few left, still waiting for their chance to fall. Nice. Keeping the arms up, we'll twist that left knee back to the front, bending the standing leg, and we'll send it back to our warrior 3. Stretching the standing leg if we had bent it. Reaching it back for 3, for 2, and 1. Step it back, high lunge. High lunge never felt so good. We'll release the hands down to the waist. Stepping that back foot in just a few inches, we'll straighten the front leg. And flat back, all the way. Then releasing the hands down on either side of that right foot. Pyramid pose. We'll bend the front knee and shift the back foot back out to our low lunge. Planting the hands, and we'll step it back. Taking our vinyasa flow. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. And exhale to press back to downward facing dog. Bending both knees, looking forward. Step or hop your way to forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhaling, lift up. And exhale, plant the hands. Then we'll lift up to our chair pose, making sure those toes are together, heels are apart. And press to stand. Nice work. We'll take it on the other side. We'll sit the hips back, taking our chair pose. Trying to sink the hips even further down. Hands draw together to the heart. And we'll twist over to the left. Right elbow connects to the left thigh. And we'll start to shift our weight over to the left foot. And this time, kicking the right heel up to the glute. Taking this little balance here. This is challenging, so if you need to look down at the floor for balance, that's okay. And if you fall out of it, that's also okay. We're here for 3, for 2, and 1. Unwind the arms. Without lowering that right leg, we'll press to stand. Trying to keep the balance. And now we'll start to extend the right leg forward at whatever height feels the best for us. So it should be a challenge, but not so much of a challenge that causes us to grit our teeth or clench our shoulders. So pressing that heel away, we're here for 2 and 1. Nice, bend that knee and bring it to our tree pose. Hands together at the hearts. Right foot connected to inner left thigh or inner left shin. Finding a point of focus. And once on balance, we'll let our arms drift up. Once again, just start to visualize the outdoors. Think about that tree right outside your window, losing its leaves as we speak. Going through the transition of seasons. Moving forward. Nice, we'll keep the arms up where they are. Slowly start to shift the right knee forward. Bending the standing leg, and we'll kick it back. Warrior 3. Once you get there, re-extend the standing leg. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Step it back, high lunge. Nice and soft. Taking some of the attention off that front leg. We'll release the hands down to the hips and step that back leg in a few inches, planting the heel. We'll straighten the front leg and slowly flat back, diving over that left leg. Hands come down to frame it if we can. This is also a great opportunity to bring in that block or cushion from earlier and just place it below the hands. Just to lift the floor a little bit closer to you. Nice, we'll bend into that front knee, shifting the back leg to a low lunge. We'll plant the hands and step it back, taking our vinyasa flow. Inhaling, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. And exhale back to our downward facing dog. We'll bend the knees, shift our gaze forward, and step or hop to the front of the mat, forward fold. Lifting up halfway. And exhale, planting the hands down, making sure the toes are together, heels are slightly apart, sitting the hips down, chair pose. And we'll press to stand, releasing the arms by the sides. Taking a big inhale here. And letting it go out the mouth. One more time. Big inhale. And exhale. Let's bend the knees, sitting into our chair pose. Bring the arms down to the heart, palms pressing together. And we'll take our chair twist. Left elbow connecting to the outer right knee or thigh. And this is the bigger challenge. So if you didn't do this kicking up before, this is your opportunity to practice. And if you want to stay here and practice more, you may. So let's lift that left heel up to the glute, shifting our weight to the right foot. You have the option to stay here, or if you have that block nearby, bring it in front of you. And we'll start to stretch both legs, coming into a warrior 3. Then release the left hand down, right arm reaches up. Revolved half moon. So having this block or cushion in front of you will help lift the floor even higher and ease the pose a little bit. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Release the right hand down. We're going to bend that right leg, stepping the left leg back, coming into warrior 2 legs. Right hand comes to the inside of the right leg. Left arm reaches high as we extend through that right knee. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Really enjoying this stretch in the right leg. We'll lower the gaze down to the right foot, bend through that knee. And we'll lift up, warrior 2, bending deeply into the front leg. We'll reach up and back, reverse warrior, flipping the right palm. And back to warrior 2. We'll shift to warrior 1, so adjusting that back leg. Letting the arms fall. We'll interlace the fingers behind our backs, pressing the knuckles away. We'll shift forward, only halfway. Lift up onto the toes of the back foot, and we'll lift off, taking a warrior 3 variation, or a toppling tree. We're here for 3, for 2, and on the 1, we'll release the hands, standing splits, and suck that left foot in. Lifting up halfway. Plant the hands, bend the knees, sitting into our chair pose. And we'll press to stand. Inhale, sit down, chair pose. Really feeling the weight shifting into the heels. We'll bring our hands to our prayer twist. And the weight shifts to the left foot. We'll kick the right heel to the glutes, finding our stability. And then slowly we'll extend both legs. Then extend both arms. Right arm down, left arm reaching high, revolved half moon. This is one of the harder poses in yoga, so if you find yourself falling, that's totally normal. But feel free to use that cushion if you have one nearby or a block. We're here for 3, for 2, and 1. Bring the left hand down. We'll bend the front knee, step the right foot back to our warrior 2 legs. The left hand plants on the inside of the left leg, and we'll start to stretch through the left knee, extending the right arm high, leaning that upper body back. The more that we pull those hips to the back wall, the more of a stretch that we'll feel under that left leg. So really let that stretch go. So get as much out of it as you can after working that leg so hard. We'll start to shift our gaze down to the left leg, bend into the left knee, and we'll lift all the way up, warrior two. Flip the left palm, let's take it to the back, reversing. Continue bending through the left knee. We'll come back to our warrior two and shift to warrior one, adjusting the legs as needed. Making sure that back foot is planted down, the toe is turning out to the front right corner. We'll release the arms down. Grabbing a hold of the knuckles behind our lower back. We'll start to press them away as we shift forward over the left foot, coming onto the toes of the right foot, and we'll shift forward into our warrior three variation, or toppling tree, so allowing the head to drop lower than the foot. We're here for three, for two, and for one. Release the hands, standing splits. And suck that right leg to meet the left. Forward fold. Lifting up halfway. And fold. Take a moment here in your fold and see how your legs and your hamstrings feel after all of that work. Toes coming together, heels apart. We'll sit the hips down, chair pose. This time, rather than stretching up out of chair pose, we're going to keep sitting, sitting, sitting until our arms are in front of us. And then we'll heel toe our feet nice and wide. Hands joining together in Malasana. We'll take our squat. And let the squats be mobile, so move around a little bit, shift, opening up the hips. Nice. We'll lift up just a little bit, heel toe the feet back together, coming back to our chair pose. And then we're going to allow ourselves to sit all the way down, try not to collapse. And then we're going to come into our boat pose. Knees coming into the chest, feet flexed and away from us, shoulders pressing down. We'll just be here for 8 counts. So breathing, engaging that core. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let those feet relax down to the mat, knees to the sky. We'll press our hands by our sides and lift the hips up. Reverse tabletop. We'll begin to lower, sending the hips in between the hands. Sitting up nice and tall, legs extended out. We'll reach both arms up. And the left arm will cross over to right foot as we reach the right arm high. And then we'll switch. Right arm reaches over to the left foot, and we'll release the left arm high. Nice. Releasing the arms. We'll slowly start to lower all the way down onto our backs. Taking a moment, feeling the body against the earth. We'll bend both knees and cross the right ankle over the left knee, grabbing the left thigh and pulling it all as close to the chest or nose as you can, feeling a stretch in the right hip. Releasing that leg, crossing all the way over now. So knee across knee, we'll shift the hips over to the right wall and let the knees fall over to the left. Back to center. Unwinding the legs, readjusting the hips back to neutral, and we'll cross left ankle over the right knee, grabbing onto the right thigh and pulling it into the chest. And being sure to keep both feet flexed to avoid hurting the knees in any way. We'll release the leg, bringing it down, crossing all the way, left leg over the right, shifting the hips to the left, and we'll drop the knees over to the right. We'll lift back to center, unwinding the legs. We have one final moment to take happy baby, grabbing the outer edges of the feet, pulling those hips down and forward, releasing any leftover tension in the hips. And when we're ready, we'll release the feet, coming into a nice tight ball. We'll release one leg at a time into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Letting the heels and the hips be heavy. We have come to the end of our yoga journey for the day. We started off as the trees, and now we are laying as those fallen leaves. The crunchy leaves that cover the ground, And take this time to notice the energy that was needed to accomplish this practice. Maybe the energy that was created during that first breathing exercise. Notice where your energy levels are at and how your body might feel different than when we first began. And slowly start to wiggle the fingers and the toes, bringing soft energy back into the body. We'll reach both arms up overhead, taking one final stretch before we curl onto the right side and press our way to a seated position. Keeping the eyes closed, hands resting on the knees. Feeling the body relax. Let's draw the hands to the heart. Thank you all for practicing with me this morning. I know this was a tough practice, but really wonderful work. I hope you're all feeling great and ready to take on this autumn day. Let's take one final breath together, breathing in and letting it go. Namaste.